When people hear the word hub, they usually imagine a space with desks, glowing screens, and someone inevitably drinking coffee at 3 in the morning. In the case of Astana Hub, that picture is more or less accurate, but beneath the surface lies a far more interesting interpretation. Here, the success of the ecosystem isn't measured by the number of stickers on laptops. There are 3 things that cannot be faked: participants, capital, and scale.
Each year, the number of registered companies continues to grow, which means new startups are being launched and demand for startup projects remains strong. Their revenues are also increasing year by year. In 2025, participant companies generated 879 billion tenge in total revenue, a strong indicator of their performance. Of these companies, 537 exported their services in 2025. This serves as a key export metric, showing how effectively they are scaling their products and their overall capacity to expand. Compared to 2024, the total export volume increased by 10% in 2025, and the geographic reach also expanded. Today, participant companies export their products to 111 countries worldwide.
The numbers keep rising, steadily and confidently. Not long ago, there were around 1,500 companies. Today, there are more than 2,000, and the flow of new applications shows no sign of slowing. It's like a good TV series. Each new season outperforms the last, just when audiences think there are no surprises left. Participant revenues are measured in trillions of tenge, and products developed by Kazakh teams operate in many countries. As part of our international cooperation, we work closely with IT Park Uzbekistan, with whom we have established joint hubs abroad. Today, our network includes a hub in Silicon Valley in the US, one in Dubai in the UAE, and another in Shanghai, China. Other countries are now joining this initiative. At the end of last year, we signed a memorandum of cooperation with IT Park Dushanbe, as well as with Azerbaijan's Innovation and Digital Development Agency. Within our Silicon Valley hub, we implement programs such as Alchemist and the Silicon Valley Residency. The average participant profile may seem fairly ordinary: a team of developers, contract-based projects, annual turnover of up to 100 million tenge. But there is one detail that turns ordinariness into opportunity. Almost all of them use artificial intelligence for automation, for analytics, or simply because operating without AI is no longer an option. The rules of the game have changed, and those who recognized it early were in the right place at the right time.
Today, startups across various industries are already integrating artificial intelligence, including those in fintech, medtech, and biotech. Across all of these sectors, there are startups working with AI agents. At the same time, we're seeing the rise of personal AI assistant startups designed to integrate into everyday routines, from checking emails and drafting responses to managing calendars and booking flights. Many daily tasks can now be delegated to an AI assistant. These types of startups are of particular interest to us. I'd say that globally, the main trend today revolves around everything connected to artificial intelligence.
Sometimes success comes from the capital, sometimes from a regional town. The irony is that the internet doesn't care where an app was uploaded from, if millions of people genuinely need it. Astana Hub is built around stories like these. Here, artificial intelligence is no longer a buzzword, it's a practical tool.
Overall, it should be said that educational initiatives and AI skills are no longer something new or cutting edge. They have become basic competencies that are simply necessary. That is why courses and accelerator programs have become a key focus for Astana Hub, delivered at scale. What do we mean by courses and large-scale training? It's about giving different groups access to fundamental skills in working with neural networks. We work with school children, students, entrepreneurs, and teachers, essentially anyone who needs artificial intelligence in their work to automate routine processes.
Tomorrow's School is a story in its own right, the country's first AI school offering a 2-year program. Admission is open to anyone over the age of 18, even those who have never written code. The selection is rigorous and interest is high. Thousands apply, only a few hundred are admitted. Tuition is free, the format is fully offline. The campus is open around the clock. There are no traditional professors here, only mentors and team-based learning. Practice over lectures. Results over formalities. For teenagers, there is TUMO, a creative technologies school for ages 12 to 18. 11 learning tracks, a self-directed path, and a personalized pace. Free of charge. A country that aims to export technology must first create the conditions to cultivate its future developers. In this sense, Astana Hub operates not as a trendy co-working space, but as a factory of competencies.
Educational initiatives and AI accelerators have now evolved into a comprehensive set of programs that are already delivering tangible results. It's no longer just about providing basic knowledge, but also creating real products that people can actually use. When we talk about the impact on the labor market, people often ask what artificial intelligence will mean for jobs in the future. Some fear that AI will simply reduce the number of jobs. In reality, however, AI is also creating demand for entirely new types of specialists. Professionals who know how to work with AI systems, integrate automation, and apply these technologies across different industries, from large industrial enterprises to teachers and lawyers already using AI tools in their daily work.
Every startup is like the hero of an adventure novel. At the beginning, it is confident of its own brilliance. In the middle, it faces reality for the first time. And by the end, it realizes the market doesn't have to love it. It is at this stage that most mistakes happen. At Astana Hub, the decision was not to reinvent the wheel, but to focus on building the infrastructure for scaling. Entrepreneurs receive support in studying markets, developing go-to-market strategies, and finding partners and investors. Astana Hub becomes more than just a support platform. It evolves into a convergence point for technology, capital, and expertise, a place where an idea can move from prototype to international company. Because for a tech company to go global, a product alone is not enough. It needs an environment designed for accelerated growth. Every startup faces challenges, but there are several core barriers that almost any company encounters when entering the global market, especially in the early stages. First, many founders fail to properly research the market they are entering. A deep understanding of local nuances is essential. That includes legislation, regulatory requirements, and the certifications or licenses that must be obtained before entering the market. Second, funding can become a serious obstacle. Expanding into a new market requires substantial financial reserves. Companies need sufficient runway to absorb initial losses while adapting and establishing a foothold. Another major challenge is the lack of experienced teams, particularly when it comes to managing operations remotely in unfamiliar regions. Poor managerial decisions at this stage often lead to internal imbalance, miscommunication, wasted resources, and failure. Kazakhstan has found itself in a unique position. The population is already accustomed to digital services. Government services have long been delivered online, and mobile applications are embedded in everyday life. This creates a rare environment in which technological integration happens faster than in countries with more complex bureaucracies. As a result, startups can test their solutions domestically before scaling beyond the country's borders. The number of success stories is growing. One of the most prominent projects within the ecosystem is Higgsfield AI, a generative AI startup that has reached unicorn status. Its story is particularly telling. The team chose to continue operating from Kazakhstan, maintaining both development speed and flexibility. Sometimes geography stops being a limitation and becomes an advantage. There are other examples of international expansion as well. Companies are entering markets in Turkey, across the Middle East, and in the United States. Success rarely comes overnight, but it tends to favor those who know how to adapt. In this context, Astana Hub serves as a navigator. In fact, we have significant opportunities. Today, one of our key instruments is the entire Astana Hub ecosystem, which is actively preparing for scaling. We are training AI specialists and running acceleration programs focused on AI. We also have the necessary capacity, and the population is already relatively well adapted to digital tools. People have experience using mobile applications and online government services. This high level of digital familiarity provides a strong foundation for integrating AI technologies across society. Today, the technology market is evolving around a single defining idea. Artificial intelligence is no longer a standalone industry, it has become part of almost every sector. Astana Hub takes it into account when working with projects and investments. The ecosystem's venture arm focuses on early-stage companies, where the idea has already been validated, but large-scale growth still lies ahead. Priority is given to graduates of Astana Hub's own acceleration programs, teams that have already been tested by the market and demonstrated their ability to scale. Investment is not limited to Kazakh projects. Startups from across Central Asia are also considered, forming a regional technology cluster.
In addition, we're actively reviewing projects from neighboring and nearby countries. This year, we plan to continue investing at an active pace. Last year, we invested in 8 startups with total capital deployment of approximately $3 million. Beyond that, we maintain a separate portfolio of companies that entered through our acceleration programs. Astana Hub builds partnerships with international innovation hubs and runs multiple acceleration programs, including in Silicon Valley and across the MENA region. Through these programs, participants have the option to convert their participation fee into equity. As a result, we have built a portfolio of around 40-50 projects through these partnership mechanisms. This year, we will continue supporting our existing startups while actively scouting for new talent.
Joint programs with global technology centers provide access to markets, experts, and investment. One notable example is the partnership with Telegram in the field of artificial intelligence. The launch of an AI laboratory within the International Alem AI Center is creating a new platform for growth, where education, research, and entrepreneurship converge. Astana Hub is more than just a tech park. It is a growth engine that connects talent, technology, and markets. And perhaps the most important work doesn't happen on conference stages or in presentations. It happens in small teams, where someone right now is writing code that could be used around the world tomorrow.